Hello, this is Charting Man Dan of TheChartGuys, where we teach the little guy and girl how to utilize charts to manage their own trades and investments. What do I mean by the little guy and girl? Well, we just had two directives signed halting the implementation of a rule that requires financial advisors to act in the best interests of their client. Let that sink in a little bit. The big wigs on Wall Street can play with your retirement and hard-earned money without your best interests at heart. We currently have hundreds of members taking charge of their financial future, and we would love for you to come check out a free week with no credit card required to see if our services would be beneficial on your path to financial independence as well. What we offer, we have a separate course of over 5 hours in length on when to enter and exit positions. And in terms of what we do daily, we have nightly videos, key levels updated each morning before the bell, 2.5 hours of live daily webcam coverage in the morning and in the afternoon, and over 7 hours of educational videos. All of these links can be found in the description of this video. Come check us out. Thanks for watching. Let's get on to the technical analysis. Checking in on CMG, NKE, GoPro, and Twitter. So the CMG bears remain in control. We have our lower high now set at 412.98. Little weak bounce attempt. The bears are still strong as we see lower highs and lower lows. The bulls are desperately trying to hold 402.16 to keep some higher lows forming. But if that does break, it's all about 395.08. That's the must-hold level. If we were to lose that level, that would change the trend on the daily time frame, which currently does favor the bulls. So bulls clearly trying to hold this 402.16 level. We do have 399.87 support, the 100-day moving average just below 400 psychological, and the weekly middle Bollinger Band is 402.27. So there are some supports in this area. It's just a question as to whether or not the bulls can hold them. In the past 2 days, we do see a bit of lower wicks with bulls buying the dip, but it's not going to be convincing. I'm bearish here on the short term on CMG unless the bulls can break 413. That's my line in the sand in terms of the bulls needing to prove themselves to me. I'm not giving the bulls any credit unless they can break that level. Otherwise, we are going to be looking to continue testing the support of 402.16 and a break. We got 400 and then 395.08. And you can see on the weekly time frame why 395.08 is so important. That is the clear consolidation low on this higher low pattern. And if that breaks, we're looking down at 392.11 and 372.87. So a big drop if those levels in the 390s are lost. Bulls must hold them. Weekly time frame for, or I should say NKE, the daily time frame, still holding up for the bulls, and we're weak. And the same thing with CMG. We need to see the bulls get over this middle Bollinger Band for the bulls to prove anything to us. This is healthy consolidation considering where we came from. This is a bull flag of consolidation. But until we can get over this middle Bollinger Band, the bulls are still consolidating, and they're not telling me that they're ready to show back up yet. So right now, the support to hold is the low of 56.02, and the bulls need to get over this middle Bollinger Band, which is 56.88. It's beginning to level off, and then it's going to begin descending. So if the bulls cannot get over this level, it's going to drive down the price to lower highs and lower lows continuation. As of right now, you could draw a support downtrend line to be watching here. And that's where I would put that, with the bulls holding those levels here on NKE. And in terms of resistance, a similar channel, that one little candlestick kind of screwing up the parallel aspect to it. It would be right here besides that little higher open day. So I would put it right there, making sure no candlesticks are closing below that level. It is healthy consolidation, especially on the weekly time frame. 100-week moving average is holding as support, and the bulls want to see a bullish reversal candlestick this week to be heading back up towards the upside, and the high we've seen, 58, 24, and 25, a little double top. So this weekly time frame certainly looks bullish after a huge 3-week breakout, 2 small weeks of consolidation. Now the bulls are trying to show back up, get over that daily middle Bollinger Band, and I will be a believer in the bulls. Otherwise, we're sticking with the bears while this consolidation continues to follow through, I should say. So that middle Bollinger Band going to be tested again tomorrow, it looks like. Close above that, and we are looking for the bulls to head up towards $60. GoPro, all-time low. As soon as that broke, the bears were all over it. All the traders were waiting on it. You could just see the reaction, and it was a 4% plus drop to the downside on that new all-time low. So this ended up being a bear flag. We had a double top at 812 on the bounce attempt. As soon as 791 breaks, bears are all over it. Little bear flag on the weak bounce attempt, continuation to the downside. We're oversold, but RSI is a lot less meaningful in new uncharted territory, as we are here now with the bears. Down to 750 psychological, 740, 730. Those are the supports we are watching as the bears are in absolute full control of GoPro. There is not a bull anywhere to be found as we close near the low of the day and that all-time low. Can we look for oversold bounces? Yes, but you need to be really quick because you're playing against the trend and there's very little support established in this area. So bears in full control of GoPro. And ever since we saw the oversold bounce play out, and it wasn't even an oversold bounce, but it was a short-term bounce, it got toppy. The bear signal was losing 932 support, and here we are almost 20% lower than that level. Twitter's still weak, still battling exponential daily resistance, but the bulls are holding on just barely. So these exponential resistances have been driving the price to the downside over the past month. The bulls must get over these levels in order to see any kind of momentum to the upside. Right now, support is 1494. I'm looking at resistance of 1538 and 1610. Bulls must see follow through in order to break this pattern that has been very bearish. The weekly time frame shows you how weak we are here. Ever since the rumor breakout, lower highs and lower lows for the past 5 months. After just hitting a lower low past week, short-term bounce, trying to see the bulls play out a little bit. But again, I would just be watching Twitter here for bearish entries. I would not personally be making any bullish entries. We're not even oversold. So there's no oversold bounces going on. They're just short-term bounces, which the bears have been jumping all over and making bearish entries for continuation to the downside. So that's the way that I would be playing Twitter right now. And again, keep in mind, the market is still not bearish at any way, shape, or form. We saw a little bit of consolidation, which helped the GoPro bears take over. But in terms of a pullback in the market, that has not happened yet. And if that does happen, you can only imagine what Twitter is going to do in terms of the ability of the bulls to maintain some support levels, which it's struggling to do in the most bullish market environment that we've seen in recent history. So I appreciate you watching. We'll continue checking in on these names. Have a great night.